everyone, Arthur with EM Disaster Gaming here today. We're doing a feature with Mark and Victoria about our new courses that we are offering through the Disaster Gaming Academy. So we're excited to announce the launch for Disaster Gaming Academy with our first two courses that we have available. But before we get into that, let me go ahead and turn it over to introduce Victoria and Mark here. Why don't we start with you, Victoria? Go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, I'm Victoria Kluge, emergency manager out here in Atlanta, and also freelance game designer. Came up with my course actually with the Atlanta airport, so it's been tested out in the field for anybody curious.
Awesome. And now Mark, please.
Hello, my name is Mark Portland. I'm a federal emergency manager. I have been emergency manager for quite a long time. I also am a game designer, a game enthusiast, and a professional GM. I also talk about storytelling in my groups and things like that. So, yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Well, today we're here again to talk about our Disaster Gaming Academy, and with that, we have created some unique offerings on everything from disaster wargaming to advanced exercise design to storytelling, and we have a range of masterclass style courses that are going to be available right now for anyone who's interested in getting to learn more about again everything from advanced exercise design, who's looking for continuing education, or was wanting to sharpen and improve their skills, or learn something new about exercise design, or using gaming, or different types of courses we have that are going to be part of our Disaster Gaming Academy. And of course, we couldn't do this without the wonderful contributions and help of our amazing game creators here today, Victoria and Mark. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up here our Disaster Gaming Academy on the screen. So this is the homepage here. If you were looking at the Disaster Gaming website, right at the top here, Disaster Gaming Academy. Let me focus in on this. So if you look at the Disaster Gaming Academy right here, it will show you this video, which is an intro video about the Disaster Gaming Academy. And if you scroll down, you can see here we're offering a range of courses that we have. We will be listing, so as we're facilitating in-person courses, either for Mark, myself, Victoria, or other creators that we partner with, there are in-person options that will be listed. For example, right now I'm traveling the country and holding in-person instructor courses for disaster wargaming. But here we have our first two fully online asynchronous continuing education courses for emergency and disaster management. So starting first, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the puzzle mechanics for the EOC stand-up challenge here. And so I'm going to turn it over to you, Victoria, to share a little bit about the course, and please.
Yes. So last year I had come up with this design for doing a EOC escape room style exercise. That basically it's a nice condensed 30-minute exercise that you can run with your teams and have the ability to test standing up an EOC under pressure. So we take puzzle concepts from escape room style activities and turn them into a learning experience for both running through ICS positions as well as the paperwork involved in standing up your EOC and the decision making behind comm run operating picture as well as activation levels and so on and so forth. So the course itself goes through the exact way to create those puzzles, logic behind making puzzles that are specific for these exercises, and how to essentially set up your own EOC escape room.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So with that, the course you can see here, we actually have a video of the intro. We have the intro video here from the first module in the course that was playing on the screen in the background. And right now, with the launch of our Disaster Gaming Academy, we have these courses on sale for $99 with that. You can get just a little bit of a sneak peek here at the course, and again, super easy to go and to take. We have an excellent learning management system we've built into our Shopify store here. And then I did want to ask you, Victoria, what kind of inspired you to get into EOC Escape Room? Kind of looking at puzzles or team building like this.
So it was while I was at the airport, or while I'm still at the airport, we had a professional leadership development group come in that wanted to learn about emergency management. And we were asked to make an interactive exercise for them to be able to learn about emergency management and EOCs. They did not want death by PowerPoint. So I thought about how escape rooms might be an engaging activity because we can do them within a condensed time frame because we only had a 30-minute slot. And it just kind of went from there. It was a very spur of the moment idea, and it just kind of took off. So
awesome. Very unique. EFC escape rooms kind of changing the way you train or team build or build cohesion. So amongst a group. So definitely something I've never seen before. Definitely seen the escape rooms. We've seen those pop up around the country. Some really cool ones, but first time seeing it for emergency and disaster management. Awesome. And next, I actually want to turn over to you, Mark. So we have our other course that's available right now, from stories to simulation using role play and narrative to build emergency management competence. So if you can please tell us about this, your course here. Would love to hear your take on all about stories to simulation.
It's a long time ago. People have told stories, so we've kind of used stories as a something to be able to inspire and utilize in emotional atmospheres and things like that. And what this is to give a perspective of engaging how to take all that knowledge and all the data and everything and create a story out of it. And also to be able to create simulations out of it, because a lot of it is very sterile stories. Okay, you go into a building and this is what you do. Well, no, there's a lot more story to that. You can bring in more perspective, more stories, more engaging things, and people learn from emotion. And so what this is to do is to be able to bring something enrich more of that story into the simulations. That's what this is all about. To inspire more people to go beyond it. Like the tornado, the tornado happened, but the thing is that, hey, there's a lot more things to it. There's people that have life or surviving stories. So this is why we want to bring those type of stories into a real life and engaging course. And so this course will help develop that in the way of bringing that emotion to emergencies and stories.
Awesome. We definitely tend to miss the bar when it comes to incorporating those kinds of things into exercise design, that storytelling component. So with that, I love that we have your course up on the screen here, and we have that intro module, that video from the very beginning. I love that you talk about storytelling, and you include a little segment here about Jim Henson, right, and the Muppets. Could you tell us a little bit about kind of your inspirations for storytelling in this course? That'd be fantastic.
Absolutely. So I started a long time ago. I usually, not really a long time ago, I started this as a professional GM. I went to like many stores and start teaching about storytelling, because storytelling is actually kind of a lost art. It's mainly, we've become more sterile in the way of how we do this. We want to engage in this professionalism, and we want to make sure that there's no No.
Nope. Looks like we're having a little bit of a connection lag here today. Um, uh, with Mark here.
I'm sorry about that.
Mark, no worries. We had a little bit of a connection delay. Please continue.
Yep. So I started this as a professional GM. I've been doing this for a long, playing games for a long time, doing GMs and other things like that. So what I wanted to do is that I wanted to put two things together: my professional in emergency management for over 20 something years, and then also my GM storytelling. So I found as I was going to panels and different things and different stores and talking to people, the younger generation has lost the idea of how to storytell. They all want to storytell, and they also felt that their engaging was not there either. The emotion wasn't there. And even in my simulations and trainings that I've also done myself, they're just very sterile. They're very boring. And then I was asked a long time ago to be able to present at a victims advocate group. They asked me to put an exercise together, and it was so emotional. I was just like, okay, maybe that this is something that I would love to try to engage in creating stories, because it was so emotional. People were actually talking about it for months and months and months. So I was just like, okay. It was a great thing about teaching mass casualties, and to see if people want to be able to be in this job or not. I know that's a bad thing, but it also teaches them the emotional side of the job. So it that inspired me more and more of all those little things that I'm putting together. I know I'm bouncing around in different things, but that put everything together for me as a inspiration to create stories and emotion to this job. Because even though that I've been doing this for 20 something years, I hear emotional stories every day. So
it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Oftentimes when we approach exercise design or training in the emergency disaster management space, it's very much like it's all about triggers, right? But without that context or the narrative cue, I feel like we definitely missed the mark in providing understanding as to why something is important. Why is this important? Why is this relevant? How do we then look at this contextually and understand it in relation to the bigger incident, right? Because those triggers, those environmental and emotional cues, I think definitely are something that we don't see as often, but yet they're super important. And they also, in approaching it from kind of the standard way, I think we see more commonly that death by PowerPoint. We definitely do sterilize the environment and make it almost, we make it very much so to where we are almost shielding or hiding or hindering the audience and the participants from from the greater context of what's going on. It's much like we become I want to say disengaged or desensitized. There it is. That's the word I was looking for. It's almost like we're desensitizing the audience to what the relevance or the importance of something like, okay, 100 people have died from this, or there are people in a series of mass casualty accidents or incidents or whatever. Right now, what do you do with that? And it becomes, you kind of disengage the audience from understanding, like, that human centric perspective or approach to response, which is often one of the things we hear the most about, right? Particularly, as that gets into like psychological first aid or welfare, or even dealing with children disasters. We've missed the entire mark as to understanding the importance of what's happening and focus more on, tactics says we do this, this, and this, but there's other dimensions and aspects to it. So I love that you have the storytelling course to really enhance how we're approaching simulations and exercise design, to really get in there and to bring people into a more immersive or engaging, exercise with that. And this is a really interesting thing, because that storytelling is super important, right?
It's,
So yeah,
it's a human animal thing. So we've been doing it since the caveman, before we can talk. We started grunting at that point. So yeah, it's very important that we have our visuals and we have our emotions to it.
absolutely. One of the earliest ways of learning, right? So all these courses here are available under the Disaster Gaming Academy here. We are going to continue to populate and build courses out. We have a number of amazing partnerships that are coming up and more courses to come. These are our first two. I have a series of disaster wargaming instructor courses that will be on here shortly. And for those that are in the higher education space, we do have an institutional partnership program where you can actually adopt our curriculum. You can license and become an institutional partner and use our curriculum here, part of your courses. So we do have that available. Please reach out if you're interested. We do have a number of institutions that have now started to adopt and use our games and our curriculum for teaching in higher education. And I'm excited to announce that soon I'll be able to publicly say that we should be able to offer college credit as well for those who take these courses. So we have a lot of great things in the work. These are the start to some amazing things. Emergency managers have been asking for more training, more education on advanced concepts on exercise design. There's a big, there's been a big kind of development in a lot of the socials, in the feeds and the chat forums over asking for this. And well, here we are, folks. We've done it. So thank you to Victoria and Mark. I want to ask, do you guys have any closing comments you'd like to say about your courses or anything else you're working on that's coming up to tease at the audience here? And just thank you guys for partnering with EM Disaster Gaming. We're excited to continue working with you guys, hosting and showcasing more of your work and really advancing emergency disaster management in ways no one else is doing.
Yeah. One thing I want to share is we will be having the pre-order coming soon for Crisis Command, which is a D&D style ICS simulation game. So that's coming down the pipeline here pretty quick. So I'm very excited to share that one.
Awesome. Can't wait. Mark?
Well, Zephyros has been out and about right now. People are ordering it right now. So that's one thing. And I have another Stormhaven coming in. It's about plagues and things like that. And maybe another one here pretty soon. So yep. So Stormhaven is going to keep continuing as modules for all RPGs. But yep. So
awesome.
Can't wait to do more.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited to see this plague expansion onto Stormhaven. Stormhaven is a really unique game. It's a fun D&D, fancy role-playing adventure take on emergency and disaster management. So really cool game. Available now. It's available for digital release, so you can get your digital copy today on emdisastergaming.com. As always, thank you guys so much for joining us, and excited to just continue on this adventure and this journey working with you guys. And thank you everyone for watching. Stay tuned. We have a ton more amazing projects and good things in the works. So, all right, we'll see you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hello, I'm Dr. Arthur James Simmons-Hill, and I'm excited to bring to you the future of education, training, and exercises with Disaster Wargaming. Announcing our Disaster Wargaming Academy. Disaster Wargaming Academy will offer elite instructor training, advanced exercise design courses, modeling and simulation. I'm excited to bring to you the future of education and training with Disaster Wargaming. Join our elite training today, and let's change the world. Hello everyone, thanks for joining. Thanks for checking out Emergency Operations Center, the board game, Disaster Scenario, Wildfire Mayhem. Today we're going to be doing a gameplay overview. I'm going to be showing you how the game works, plays, and mechanics. So without further ado, why don't we go ahead and jump right on. So let's start with an overview